Tonight on Elon Local News.
Looking back this Black History Month, how Black students and faculty have shaped Elon.
Alternative medicine, how CBD could help or hurt your health.
And Love is in the Air, the unique way you can give back to first responders this Valentine's Day.
All that and more.
Elon Local News starts right now.
Live from the Jane and Brian Williams studio at Elon University School of Communications, you're watching Elon Local News.
Hello and welcome to the first Elon Local News of the semester. I'm Brian Ray.
And I'm Maeve Ashbrook. Thank you so much for joining us.
We have more tonight on the shooting just off campus that left one dead and one injured. We first told you about it last week. Police say they believe it was the result of a domestic incident as the suspect and one of the victims were in a relationship. It happened at the intersection of Pinedale and Oakview Drive, about a mile from the station at Mill Point. Police say the investigation is ongoing and continue to monitor the community. They're still looking for this man, Barry B.J. Campbell. Neighbors wouldn't speak on camera, but one did tell Elon News Network he heard a car with a loud stereo in front of his house. He says that got his attention, and shortly after, he saw the scene you now see on your screen. If you have any information about the event, you can call Crime Stoppers at 336-229-7100.
February is Black History Month, and I spoke to one Elon student about how the university's past has helped shape her experience. Glenda Phillips Hightower was the first Black student to attend Elon. Eugene Perry was the first Black student to graduate from the college, and Trinity Battle is one of the 342 Black undergraduate students on Elon's campus now.
There's a picture of the two of them upstairs, and I pass them every time I go to the Creed. And so it's really, really nice to be able to, look at them and be like, I'm here because of them. The
Elon freshman says she's been celebrating Black History Month her entire life, but she's spending her first February here at Elon connecting with the university's present, Black faculty, staff, and students, and learning about the university's past.
The scary thing being a person of color is the past, and it is kind of wondering, okay, what happened on this campus to Black students, or how were Black students treated on this campus?
A history that started with Hightower in 1963 and grew from there. In 1979, Bryant Colson was elected the first Black president of the Student Government Association. Colson was also the first Black editor-in-chief of The Pendulum. Almost 10 years later, Wilhelmina Boyd was hired as Elon's first Black faculty member and later became the first department head of the African and African American Studies Department. And just 1 year ago, the African Diaspora LLC was created for students interested in learning more about African American culture. Battle currently lives there, and she says this made her adjustment to living on a predominantly white campus easier.
I live on the floor. I am always in the Creed. I am just always injecting myself in situations where there will be people who look like me or people who can relate to me on that level.
Battle says she thinks Elon's campus is moderately accepting of Black students, but the importance of Black History Month goes beyond Elon's campus.
Not only is it just like, woohoo, we're celebrating, we're partying, we're doing all these fun stuff, but it's also making connections and being able to bond over this shared history, even beyond February. Like, we're still Black, we're still happy about that, we're still celebrating each other.
According to the University Fact Book, the number of Black students at Elon has decreased over the last decade. In 2010, about 7% of undergraduate students were Black, and now in 2020, that number is at about 5%. To read more about how Elon is celebrating Black History Month, make sure to pick up our special edition of The Pendulum next Wednesday, the 19th.
In recent years, hemp and CBD products have grown in popularity. Our Grace Morris took a look at the benefits and possible side effects of CBD.
Right before coming to Elon, senior Victoria Rodriguez had major surgery.
I had my spleen removed. That was particularly painful.
So she turned to cannabinoids, or CBD, to manage the pain.
It's just so healing, like on all different fronts.
For CBD NC manager Sandy King, CBD has also made a difference in her life.
For ADHD, I haven't had to take medication for over 5 months. Just, using the CBD oil instead.
After the passage of the Farm Bill in 2018, states were legally allowed to grow hemp. Hemp is a form of the marijuana plant with very little THC, or the active ingredient in marijuana that causes a high. CBD is a chemical that comes from the hemp plant, but has been touted as having a wide variety of health benefits. And for Rodriguez, those benefits are real.
If I have just a little bit of it, it'll give me calmness and help me feel less anxious. It also help with physical pain that I'm dealing with.
While both King and Rodriguez have seen a difference, some medical professionals aren't so convinced.
Looks like it's snake oil at this point. It'll cure almost everything. The problem is there's not a lot of good research.
The Food and Drug Administration has only approved CBD to be used in some prescription epilepsy medication, but has not weighed in on its other uses. Robin Lee, a pharmacist at Total Care Pharmacy, says that's why he doesn't stock CBD.
There are lots of people making CBD products, and since they're not regulated, there's no way to know precisely what you're getting. You have to rely on the people, and that's kind of made it sort of the Wild West of selling CBD. So
while CBD can be consumed in a variety of forms, it doesn't come without its side effects.
That's part of the problem, because CBD does have an effect on your liver. It can increase the metabolism of other drugs, so you can either, for the most part, block metabolism of certain drugs, which will increase the amount of drug in your bloodstream.
And while the research might not quite be there yet,
it's hard to know if that's true for a broad spectrum of people, or if it was just for that one person, or if it's a placebo effect.
Some still swear by CBD.
It's not a cure-all or an end-all be-all, but it's definitely a nice way to decompress at the end of the day.
Grace Morris, Elon Local News.
The CBD industry continues to grow. In 2018, the industry made almost $2 billion in sales.
If you're not satisfied with your meal plan for the semester, there is still time to change it. And if you currently have a block plan, you may want to consider converting it into Phoenix Cash so you can buy food both on and off campus. In order to do this, there are two major requirements. First, you need to have junior credit standing with the university. You also can't be living in a residence hall. If you meet both of those requirements, then visit elon.edu/myhousing and select dining in the top bar. From there, you can select to change your meal plan. Next, you'll want to select no meal plan to take the cost of your previous meal plan and convert it to Phoenix Cash. Once in your account, the Phoenix Cash can be used to shop at local businesses or to buy food dollars, which can be used to purchase food on campus at a 15% discount. If you're still unsatisfied but also still want a meal plan, you have the option of changing it to one of several options. You can make any change to your meal plan up until next Tuesday, February 18th at 11:59 p.m. Brian, back over to you.
The sound of sirens in Elon will soon come with a new look. The Elon Fire Department is expecting the delivery of its new fire truck later this week. The new engine, made by company Sutphen in Ohio, is white, featuring a black and red ribbon and blacked out wheels. Late last week, firefighters went to Ohio to complete the final inspection of the new engine.
Ukraine has recently made headlines both internationally and here in the United States during the impeachment inquiry. But next Wednesday, Elon will be hosting the National Symphony Orchestra of Ukraine in Shar Center. Tickets to see the Grammy-nominated group are free, with the performance beginning at 7:30.
Coming up this weekend is the 4th annual Elon Ball, and we are now joined by Julia Field from SGA to tell us more. Julia, thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, of course. So is there anything different about Elon Ball this year?
Well, a lot of Elon Ball is going to be remaining the same. There's nothing that's going to be completely different or completely new, but obviously we want more students to come. So the more students that come, the better atmosphere it is, and that's really what we're looking for, to have a wide variety of students there who are involved in lots of different things on campus and who just love Elon.
And so why does SGA think it's important to host this ball every year?
So SGA and Sub partner to host this ball every year because, kind of like what I was saying, we want to create atmospheres and spaces for groups of students to gather on campus no matter what you are or are not involved in, you know? And the Elon Ball is such a great space for that because it's really inviting. It's a great opportunity to dress up and have fun with your friends and to just have a great night with live music and food and drinks.
Yeah, and where does the money for the ball come from?
It actually comes from student activity fees. So SGA this year, we put in a request to the finance board, and then it went through the Senate to be voted on, and that is where it was financed from.
Great.
And how many people are you expecting to be at the ball this year?
We would love to have as many as possible. So if you're free this weekend, or if you're not free, invite your friends to come. We would just love to have as many people as possible at the ball. Ideally, the entire student body, right? So 6,000, but yeah.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. Maeve and I will definitely be there.
Yes, see you there.
The Elon Ball will be held in the Great Hall in Global Commons starting at 8 p.m. and admission is free.
And coming up after the break, find out how one student is finding new roads.
And after the break, I'll be here with your Phoenix 5-day forecast.
You're watching Elon Local News.
On Friday nights, Elon senior Matthew Ortel opens the Uber app, but not to be a passenger. He's a driver. Ortel started driving this summer once he turned 21, but he says he prefers driving in his hometown of Raleigh. Between the mud students trek into his car and their general disrespect, he says driving here in Elon is frustrating.
I did 20 plus trips one Friday night, and I don't think I got a single tip, maybe one tip. So that's a big difference between Elon and Raleigh.
Ortel says after gas and his monthly car insurance payment, he doesn't make a profit. Despite all of this, he says it's still worth it as driving offers him more opportunities to socialize.
We were talking, found out I was a senior, and they actually invited me to hang out. So then we went and hung out for like half an hour.
While Ortel has only driven for a few months, the company as a whole has lost $8.5 billion in 2019, making investors nervous.
Maeve, I certainly wouldn't want to be driving around in this weather with all the rain and the mud.
It's so slick, and I feel like you're going to slip. It's worse than snow, in my opinion. Just slip it.
Yeah. Well, our Annalisa Holder is live on Citroen Plaza with our Phoenix 5-day forecast. Annalisa?
Thanks, Brian and Maeve. So unfortunately, this rain will continue until Thursday, so make sure you have your rain jacket and umbrella handy. And tomorrow, the high will be 67 and the low will be 46. On Wednesday, it will be the 50s all day. It's a little warmer on Thursday, with a high at 67 and a low at 33. It won't be raining on Friday, but the temperature will go back down, with a high at 48 and a low at 21. On Saturday, it will be a little bit sunnier, but still cold, with a high at 44 and a low at 33. So be sure to have your winter jacket. And that's the Phoenix 5-day forecast. Back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Annalise. I'll be sure to keep my umbrella handy the rest of this week.
The first pendulum of the semester comes out this Wednesday.
We have Thomas Denome live in the newsroom with a preview for us. Thomas?
Thank you, Brian and Maeve. I'm here in the ENN newsroom where we are currently working on this week's pendulum. Our leading story is a look at the sex offender registry in Alamance County and how that affects the people who are listed on it. We also have a story about coronavirus and how that is going to impact study abroad programs that Elon University runs. And we have an op-ed written by one of the organizers of the protest against war in Iran. It's about how student protest can improve the lives and the learning of people who partake in it. Make sure to pick up a copy of The Pendulum on Wednesday when it comes out. Thank you so much. Back to the studio.
Thanks, Thomas. And like he said, that edition of The Pendulum will hit stands on Wednesday.
And after the break, I'll be back with your Phoenix Sports Update.
We have Gayatri Chopra live in studio to tell us about this week's app of the week. Gayatri?
Thank you, Brian and Maeve. So I wanted to talk to you guys about an app called Forest, and it can really help as we get into the new swing of second semester when people are having a harder time focusing and ending up staying late because they can't finish their assignments. Now this app is called Forest, and it allows you to plant a virtual tree as you set a time limit for what app that you want, for the time that you would like to do your task. Now that can be doing something like reading or finishing an online assignment, and you definitely have those different options. Now you have to accept the diagnostics and usage, and you're actually able to choose which kind of plant that you want to plant, and you can set a time limit as well. Now if for some reason your task is interrupted and you have to give up on the time, you can give up, however your tree will die, and that will go into your overall forest. You do have other options to delete this off your record, but you have to watch an ad or it will cost you 60 coins. Now you do have other options, and you can see why in the first place you were interrupted in your task, and you can actually put in your own different instructions. And you can also set it for as little as 10 minutes or as long as 120 minutes. And you definitely have those different options, and can overall help you with your focusing on the rest of the school year and help you get your assignments done on time and allow you to have a little tree. Thank you, Brian and Maeve. Back to you.
Thanks, Gayatri. I definitely might need to get that app.
Well, it seems so helpful, but starting the semester off with good study habits.
Yeah, I love a little plant, too.
It's adorable. And tomorrow at College Coffee, President Book will be announcing the new strategic plan. In the last strategic plan, the university saw the building of Global Neighborhood as well as building Sankey Hall. College Coffee will be held in Alumni Gym starting at 9:40 a.m.
Well, John Sarver joins us at the desk to tell us about this week in sports. John?
Spring sports are off and running for Elon, with 3 teams playing at home over the weekend. After losing in the first round of last year's conference tournament, Elon lacrosse faced off against Campbell University in the season opener. Thanks to a strong second half, the Phoenix beat Campbell in convincing fashion with a final of 12-5 to start the season 1-0. Women's tennis improved to 5-4 on the season after playing 2 matches. The Phoenix lost to Campbell University 5-2 and shut out Methodist University 6-0. Women's tennis will be back at home Friday against Longwood University. This weekend was the Elon Softball Classic, the first weekend tournament of the regular season. The team went 3-1 for the weekend, its only loss coming against the Seton Hall University Pirates. Our Caitlin Rundle has the story.
Softball opened up its season in the Elon Softball Classic. Coach Bocock and the Phoenix are coming off of a stellar previous season, something that Bocock says works to her team's advantage.
In every game, they're going to get more experience, so that's just what we need.
Bocock also has high hopes for her group of new players.
They're young, they don't have any worries, they still love the game of softball, and they're only going to get better every game.
One of those freshmen, Megan Grant, participated in her first collegiate weekend tournament. She said one of the most important parts of her play was her learned mindset attitude.
It's stuff you learn in high school, but you also grow with in college. I think here at Elon, it's a good time to figure yourself out and learn and grow through all your mistakes and achievements here too.
Coach Bocock said that this weekend was important for the general mindset of the team as well.
They got to figure each other out, and we've got to figure each other out too. Like for staff, we have to figure out who's going to do what. They've been playing each other for the last 4 weeks. So they're kind of getting tired of playing each other, so now they're going against other people, and now they can kind of realize that, hey, I got to work harder and get better at this because these teams are different than our team.
Senior Kenna Quinn says that just like last year, she has high hopes for her senior season.
Well, we set really high expectations last year, making it to the conference championship. So of course, that's a goal that we all have. We want to get back to that. I want to be able to bring the freshmen to, bring them to their first conference tournament.
Caitlin Rundle, Elon Local News.
The Phoenix will remain home for the next week. Its next game comes on Wednesday at 4 p.m. against the North Carolina A&T Aggies.
Valentine's Day is fast approaching, but chocolate hearts aren't the only thing you can give this year. Valentine's Day is this week, and there are lots of events going on around campus. This week is Paint the Campus Purple Week. Relay for Life will have a table in Moseley every day this week, fundraising for Colleges Against Cancer.
This Thursday is the opening night for the performing arts musical We Will Rock You. The show runs from February 13th to February 16th and starts at 7:30 p.m. on Thursday. Tickets are free with an Elon ID. And tune into ELN Morning this Thursday at 10 a.m. for a backstage look at the production.
And this Friday is the Vagina Monologues. It will be in Whitley Auditorium from 6:30 to 9 p.m. Admission is $5 with all proceeds going to Crossroads Sexual Assault Response and Resource Center of Alamance County.
And speaking of Valentine's Day, the Burlington Police Department is celebrating the holiday in a special way this year. Members of the community can buy a cookie to send to any employee of the city of Burlington or of the emergency service teams in Alamance County to thank them for their work. Burlington Police Records Supervisor Megan McCann says this is the 4th year for the Cookie Gram fundraiser, but it's just as special each time.
I love it. It's close to my heart anyway. Here at the department, I'm not on the street, but I'm behind them, and it's really makes me feel good to be able to give them something to show that it's not just me that supports them, it's everybody.
The Cookie Gram funds go toward raising money for Cops Care, a program that allows Burlington Police to take underprivileged kids Christmas shopping around the holidays.
it's kind of a way to give back. And I know everybody talks about that, but it's one of our big programs that we're able to go with the children and we're able to shop with them. You can see the joy on their faces when they get to pick out their gifts that they probably didn't even think they were going to be able to get.
Cookies are $1. You can send one directly towards an individual or directed to a department. You can purchase cookies at the Burlington Police Department, the Burlington Animal Shelter, or Burlington Parks and Recreation offices. All orders must be placed by this Wednesday.
Well, Maeve, love is in the air. Valentine's Day is almost here. Any big plans?
Well, no, not really. I think I'll be hanging out with more of my friends, and that'll be a really nice way to spend Valentine's Day. You know, bonding and love is in more ways than just a boyfriend or girlfriend.
Yeah, it can be Anchor Valentines.
Anchor Valentines. I love it. I love that.
Well, John, what can we expect from sports this week?
It's going to be a very busy weekend for sports. 5 different teams are going to be at home over the weekend, and that includes men's and women's basketball, men's and women's tennis, and baseball kicks off their season at home this weekend as well.
Wow, awesome. And Gayatri, I have a paper to write tonight. Do you have any tips on how I can get it done without getting distracted?
Definitely. Make sure that you put your phone away or plant your tree and don't look at it again until it's grown. And definitely find those different ways and like eliminate all extra distractions from your room and to ensure that you can really write that paper as well as you can.
Awesome, thanks, Gayatri.
And then after writing that paper, my personal preference is go do a sleep meditation. That's I feel like those two go really well in hand. That's such a good. I know we talked about it, New Year's resolutions, but that's another good way to get yourself going and for good stuff. Of course.
Now, will I see you guys at Elon Ball this weekend?
For sure.
Awesome.
Why not?
Yes.
John.
And that's all the news we have for you today. Thanks for joining us.
For all the news you need to know when we're not on the air, check out our website, elonnewsnetwork.com.
And don't forget to follow us on social media.
Online, on air, and in the stands, we are Elon News Network.
Have a great week, Elon.